Welcome to, I don't know what to call this, Josh Rants? Let's start with Josh Rants. I come up with something better. I'm sure there's better out there. I've had this idea for a while, and I'm just going to kind of launch into it as if it's normal, but it's new, so it's kind of not normal. So yeah, we'll see. But I want to start on a topic that isn't too contentious, but it's going to be presented in a contentious way, which is that I don't think Artifact is a good game. In fact, I hate Artifact. I think Artifact should have never been made. I think it is one of Valve's biggest mistakes, and I think it's an insult to the consumer base. Let's go with these statements. Oh, and just to really top it off, I've never actually played it. So what you saw there was the reveal of Artifact. It was very, very unpopular when first unveiled, and it was Valve's first entry into the card game space. Now, my issues with Artifact aren't really to do with any of the gameplay, although it does have gameplay issues inherent in its design. My issue is how Artifact came to exist. Okay? Where did Artifact come from? Where did the impetus, the driving force, the starting kernel for Artifact come from? And in my mind, it can only come from one place, which is the Steam Marketplace. Now, the Steam Marketplace was unveiled ages and ages ago as part of TF2, and it's a great idea. I actually really do like the idea of the Steam Marketplace. It's very interesting to me to say to the community, hey, you can make things, and then the things you make you can then go and sell on this marketplace. That's cool. That's a cool idea. I like that idea. And then Valve naturally takes a little bit of a cut every single time you make a trade on it. Okay, fair enough, right? They operate the service. If you go to a real life marketplace and you say, hey, yeah, I want to set up a stall here, chances are whoever owns the market or who owns the area is going to want some kind of fee, and Valve do this by taking a percentage of what you're trading with. Fair enough, okay? I have no issues with this idea. But what Valve did is this. They went and they said, okay, well, we do these sales, right? They do the Steam sales, and every time they do, they release these little cute, oh, look, it's so cutesy, and oh, it's a bunch of little cute dudes going out for a camping trip in the woods, or they're finding Santa Claus on the North Pole. Oh, it's so adorable. Let's sell you trading cards. Or not even sell you trading cards. Let's just give you trading cards and badges. Badges that you can put on your profile. Ooh, goody. I love putting badges on my profile. I've never cared. I installed Steam the day that Half-Life 2 came out, or around about then, because I had to install Half-Life 2 using Steam, and I was very annoyed at the time because my internet connection was still a 56k bps modem that cost my parents a fortune in internet bills eventually. So shout out to my parents for sticking up with that. But yeah, Half-Life 2 came with Steam, so that's when I installed it. I don't care about badges. I don't care a jot about collecting all the cards. But I know people do. And I know that people fall for this trick of, well, we'll give you a set, and we'll give you bits of the set, and we'll give you quite a lot of the set for just, logging in or just buying bits. But there'll be cards that are rarer, and there'll be cards that are harder to get, and bits and pieces that you don't quite have all of, so you're going to have to trade. And these cards are worth like 3 cents or like $1 at most. Like, they're worth nothing, okay? They're just there to help nudge you towards, well, maybe you're going to make another purchase. Or, well, maybe you're going to want to trade on the marketplace. And then of that 3 cents, well, Valve just takes a small little cut of it. And if a lot of people are trading, then that does add up over time to be a decent amount, but probably not a huge amount. So some Valve exec has sat back. He's got a coffee. Let me get mine. Carefully, there we go, and he's sitting back and he's going, you know what would be amazing? I don't know why I'm Cockney. Ooh, you know what would be amazing? Is if those were worth $3 instead of 3 cents. Why he's Cockney? I don't know. You're having a laugh, ain't you? Yeah, if those were instead of 3 cents, they were $3, oh baby, Valve would be raking it in. Tons of people trading something worth that much money. Ooh, good lord, that's amazing. So how do we get that to work? Well, let's take a look at the gaming market. And they went, you know what makes a lot of money? trading card games. Trading card games do make a decent amount of cash. They are fairly popular as well. So they said, yeah, we'll make a card game, and we'll make the best damn card game ever made. Cue Artifact. Now, they went out, and credit where it's due, they went out and they got a hold of some top-tier card game developers, and they really tried to make a game that's good and compelling. I have issues with its design inherently, but they did try and make a game. But at the fundamental of this game is the idea that you pay to get in. You basically pay for a pile of cards, and then you get a bunch of or booster packs, I suppose. You buy a bunch of booster packs, and you get to play the game. Except then you have to pay to actually play the game with the cards that you bought instead of doing the draft mode. So yeah. So you've already paid, and then you have to pay more to play it, which... What? Why? Valve. Money. Yeah. Issues. And then there's the issue of, okay, well, you can then trade those cards on the marketplace, right? And the cards, for example, the most sort of famous of these cards is the Axe card. Like, there's a character called Axe, and his card was worth about $20, which was the asking price of the game. So players that, you know, unpacked their packs and got an axe, well, they could sell the axe and they could recoup the value of buying in. Oh my god, now it's a free game. Except someone, somewhere, has lost money, and Valve have gone to their community and gone to people buying into this and gone, well, like, you know, the towel, instead of a towel dipped in water, they just wrung it out and gone to you and your wallet and just wrung that out. And they've played on every single thing they can try and play on to try and incentivize you to buy that game. And the way that they did it was, well, Artifact is a hardcore, high-end, difficult, you have to have a very high IQ to understand and appreciate Artifact, and the sun has come out, so my lighting's changed, so now there's a spike looming, and it's going away now. Ooh, exciting times. So yeah, it's a very complicated game. You know, Artifact players, they don't just want to play one card game, they want to play 3 card games at the same time, effectively. So we have 3 boards that you have to play on all at once, and it's very complicated, very high IQ, for very high IQ PC gamers who are very hardcore and love Dota. And the community response was, why are you copying Blizzard, right? Like, this is something that Valve fanboys had over Blizzard fanboys, I suppose, for a while, which is that Blizzard did not pick up Dota, okay? There are people, I imagine, in Blizzard who are very upset about this fact, who they missed out on a huge opportunity. They knew, apparently, that Dota was going to be huge. Like, they knew the amount of people playing it in the custom game servers. Oh my lord, the sun's really come out, so I'm glowing at the moment. Ignore it. I am this white. Believe it or not. I have to be. I talk about video games for a living. Good lord, I am radiant at this point. Ha! So Valve fanboys were like, oh, well, you know, we got Dota and Blizzard came out with Heroes of the Storm. Lol, look at how bad your game is. Oh, it's so casualized. Ha 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 ha. Dota's super popular. Oh, Heroes of the Storm died. Ha 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 ha. Basically, now, well, Valve just kind of did the same thing. They looked at what Blizzard were doing with the trading card game and went, not even a trading card game, a collecting card game technically, and they went, yeah, we'll get on that. We want in that. We want to do that too. And suddenly all the Valve fanboys were like, well, I guess ours has to be better than yours, lol, BlizzCucks. And this isn't me being, by the way, like, oh, you're a Blizzard fanboy, you're wearing an Overwatch hat and an Overwatch-themed shirt as well, by the way. It's just that a lot of my clothing is Overwatch-themed because, like, they send me clothes and I don't buy many clothes, so, yeah. And, like, honestly, it's a part of the pull of Artifact was like, oh, well, some people out there, these people exist and they're mental. They drive me insane. It's like, oh, well, we don't like Blizzard, we like Valve, but we don't like Blizzard, we don't like Hearthstone, so I am going to buy Artifact as a kind of, screw you, Blizzard, screw you, Hearthstone, rah, we don't like you, and give Valve money. Those people exist, and they're insane. They are crazy, and it does motivate and influence people, and I absolutely think Valve bought into this to get people into this marketplace trap, because let me issue you a hypothetical. It's a straw man, but it's a reductio ad absurdum, right? It's an argument based on, let's take the most extreme case. Let's say that someone at Valve really loved Yu-Gi-Oh, right? The anime that is terrible and has very pointy hair, and I've only watched the abridged version of, but I know there's a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or 5 cards, I suppose, but let's just say 1 card, and we call it Exodia, okay? And they release Exodia into Dota 2, not into Dota 2, into Artifact. And they say, okay, well, if you play this card, you win the game. But only 1 of this card exists. Well, if you are going to go and play Artifact, you probably want that card because, well, you find a way to play it, you win the game. Congratulations, Timmy. You're now grand champion of all the esports as long as you can play that card. Okay, well, suddenly, if there's only 1 of them, that card will have insane value, and Valve can go, well, it's balanced because there's only 1, so you're not going to see it very often, and they sell it, and hey, I'm sure tons of people leave the game in droves, but the people paying money for that, well, they're giving big percentiles to Valve, and as a result, yeah, they're going to get a lot. Now, that's an extreme example, okay? The point of it is to illustrate this. Valve, or 1, I suppose, own the marketplace, first and foremost. Wherever this is traded, they own the marketplace. People can say, like, oh, Magic the Gathering. Well, Magic the Gathering, people trade cards. I can go to my friendly local gaming store and buy a Black Lotus for $8,000 in mint condition and, like, whatever, and pay an insane sum, but that's a transaction between me and the gaming store, not between me, the gaming store, and Wizards of the Coast, who own Magic the Gathering, right? I don't have to send them $500 and pay $7,500 to the gaming store. No. They're not involved. It's just a transaction between me and another person. The card has value, and therefore I now have a card worth $8,000, and the gaming store has $8,000 in cash, for example. Why we're using dollars, who knows? It's just easier to stick in the single currency. Now then, so Valve own the marketplace. Valve make the cards, and they don't even print them. There's no actual cost or no major cost in distributing these cards, in getting them out there, aside from just paying an artist to sort of make an illustration. A lot of these illustrations might exist already, and then also they can then go and just, design more cards. And if they see that certain cards sell extremely well, they can just design more cards like those. So, for example, if the Axe card, like $20 is like a really good price point because people want to trade a single card to recoup the entry price into the game, they can try and like pinpoint and value cards specifically so that you want to trade them at around $20. They can do that, right? It is very, very easy when you have enough data and have enough systems to actually design cards that you will want to sort of have or trade for with real money. With enough artificial scarcity, and this is the key, they also, 3, control the rarity. So they own the marketplace, they can set the value of the card through its in-game and meta power, and they control the rarity of the card. This is a combination that is extremely dangerous because it means that they effectively can try and incentivize you to just spend money on the marketplace. And sure, you're trading from player to player, but everyone bought into that marketplace, everyone's putting money into that marketplace, and it's all just circulating, and every single time it circulates, Valve are just siphoning cash out of it. Every single time. They are just pulling more and more cash out of it, and if it took off big, and this is part of why Artifact was even on my mind, and why I'm kind of glad that things worked out as they did, because today, I checked it today, Monday the 21st, by the way. When this was recorded, it should be out on the same day. It might not be. It might be out on Tuesday. The Steam charts basically showed that Artifact, the 24-hour peak, was at 3,000 players. Well, under 3,000 players. Technically 2.8k. That's not many players. That's really not that many players. 3,000. It's not like it's on, consoles and on mobile and on other platforms. No. That's the entire player base. 3,000 people. And I cannot be happier, because I think that if Valve got away with this, it's just another example of a developer squeezing money out of their fan base, squeezing money out of people who have built up a loyalty to a brand and have built up a loyalty to a company that, they don't really owe much loyalty to, or shouldn't owe much loyalty to. And it's not that, game companies are monetizing their games in different ways. It's that I genuinely believe, and this is why, above all other reasons, I hate Artifact. This is why I genuinely believe someone sat down at Valve and went, how do we monetize the market? How do we monetize the Steam marketplace as much as humanly possible? And this is what they came up with. And they should have just made a gacha game. By the way, if you don't know what a gacha game is, don't Google it. If you do know what a gacha game is, stop buying it. Stop it. Right? If you want to look at pictures of, like, King Arthur with big boobs, just look at the pictures on the internet. Don't spend tons of money on your phone. For God's sake, people. Have some self-control. I think I'll end it on that note. I've recorded this twice now due to various issues, and I went on a spiel about some of the game design. I think I'll address that very briefly, in that they wanted to make this very competitive, like hardcore PC-centric game, right? And this is just more evidence in my mind of, like, they didn't come at this from how do we make the best game. They came out of this as how do we make the most amount of money, because they created this very PC-centric, hardcore, triple board, all at once game, and they wanted esports around it. They wanted all this hoopla around it. They wanted people to really get into it and get into the meta and then start trading for high-value cards. And they made it have a fundamental RNG issue where it creeps. So the gameplay flow is determined by things that happen randomly. It's like a 1 in 3 chance of where an event happens, basically, where a creep spawns. And like, oh, well, we wanted to simulate what a Dota game is like. So we want it to be, 3 lanes and have that 3-lane structure. But instead of having, the fundamental of Dota is that the 3 lanes, creeps spawn at the same time and meet in the same volume for most of the game until someone gets an advantage. Like, you have the same value available to both teams, and it's about denying the enemy value. Not about just randomly, oh, well, top lane has creeps now, and now top lane gets it again. So if you invested everything in bottom lane, good luck to you, because, yeah, you're not getting anything, apparently. Like, it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense to have this, oh, you have to be so intelligent, have to play 3 games at once, but just randomly as well. Yeah, we're just going to completely throw chaos in there. It's mental. And here's the thing, I don't mind RNG in a competitive game. I don't. I enjoy watching poker and enjoy sort of understanding how poker works, because poker to me is like it's a how far are you willing to go? How much are you willing to chance? Do you have 4 diamonds in your hand and you're waiting for the river and it's like, oh, well, it could be a diamond. Do I stick in for the flush? Do I do I fold? What do I do? How do I do it? What type of player am I? What type of player are my opponents? Do they think I have this hand? What do they think I'll do? It's all about reading what your opponent's doing and understanding their mentality. And sure, there's some luck involved, but the skill comes from finding value in places where you wouldn't. And when you just completely throw it to RNG, that doesn't quite work. And so, yeah, I could not be happier that Artifact is failing. I'm kind of glad it did. I know, like a lot of consumers out there of video games, I'm fed up as well as just feeling like a wallet, a punching bag, and people trying to extort money out of me. I don't like it. Hopefully you guys don't either. Maybe I've got Artifact completely wrong. Maybe I have. Maybe I fundamentally misunderstood it, and maybe you can elucidate me in the comments. If you agree with what I say, let me know. If you don't agree, let me know. If you don't like the format, let me know. If you do like the format, let me know. Basically, I'm just telling you, post a comment. It helps. Give your opinion as well. I do read them. I don't respond to them quite so much these days, but I do try and read what I can. And yeah, thank you for watching to the end. I have been Josh's one voice amongst many. Artifact, I think, is a terrible game, and I'm kind of glad it failed. I'll see you next time. Doodles.